instrumentation anywhere. Instrumentation to keep track of. So actually, these people have to demand the help from the FDA for chemical and biochemical analysis of your product regularly, or you have to tie up with CFTRI, so that CFTRI can regularly help you for analysis of your fermented juice and distillate at every level, whether it is Udra, Kachen and Feni and blended products also. Then the last question is something which I find easier to answer. That is, people are talking about the strong smell of Feni. Now, what is the chemical signature of the strong smell? See, cashew is a very complex fruit. The cashew shell liquor extract, which is used as a resin, it is made up of some of the most corrosive phenolics called carbonic acids. जीभो जर तुझ्या जर जिभेक लागत जाल्यार पोव मारपाची पाळी दीक आसता म्हणटकीच हाताक जर ताजें स्टेनिंग जाता बट यू गेट समथींग लायक अ फेविकॉल फ्रॉम दॅट एंड इट इज एंटी करोसिव एंटी फावलिंग मानशेचे जे दारां आसतात ताका तो दीक काडटा उडी आसतात गांवांनी कोनेर ताका काजूचो दीक काडटा सो हे लोकांनी सोदून काडले सो ताका मागीर कीड पडना सो कार्बोनिक एसिड्स आर प्रेजेंट इन cashew nut. Besides, phenolics are present in Feni. So there is a simple way of removing phenolics. You have to get phenol oxidases. Either pure phenol oxidases, you have to pass through immobilized enzymes, entire cashew Feni, to a fiber reactor, hollow fiber reactor we call it. So your entire stream goes through immobilized phenol oxidase enzyme, that beats, and what comes out is phenol-free cashew Feni. Secondly, mushroom mycelium. That is what we are going to try. So various types of mushrooms, edible mushrooms, not toxic. Their biomass has a lot of polyphenol oxidases. So you create a system whereby you pass the Feni over the bed of this immobilized mushroom mycelia. All the phenolics will be removed. You can decide also contact time, how long to keep it in contact with the mycelia. So the mycelia converts these phenol oxidases. And the phenol oxidase mycelia converts phenolics into simple organic substrates which do not smell. And then you get a Feni which is odorless. But I don't know whether that odorless Feni will be called what cashew Feni. Because then again the question is how much odor and how much smell is acceptable. For which again surveys are required. So you see that at every level 10 research projects can come out. We have taken 2-3 projects, but it is going to be decadal work. Right now, industry is trying very difficult, like he said, that competition is coming from all places, that definitely it will come. The government is liberalizing now. Now they have declared 3 years tax holiday. Tomorrow, if you are doing some startup, you will be able to stay in the business for 3 years. So government is pumping lot of money in entrepreneurship, and there is more money for women entrepreneurs. Like there is Felicia D'Souza. She is from Kerry territory. You will tell about your family business. Good. Now this is what your family will be doing. Talk about it. Talk.
For the cooling, you use a top pot. Very interesting. Your father's name is John? Joking. I think I met him. Giving her a call.
So now you know that there are people, but the question is this, that there is resistance in your mind that this is something like there are many bottlers who do not drink themselves.
Yes.
You will not believe this. They don't touch alcohol. Why? खूप जण काजूची तुका हे काडटा, फेणी काडटा, उर्राक काडटा. ते केन्नाच पियेना. दुसऱ्यांक घालता. Understood? So it's not like that Oenology course you can take, but nobody is forcing you to taste wine or sell wine or produce wine and all. Whereas there are people who will do all these things, but they will sell it to others. Understood? So many times you will find also hoteliers who produce lots of chicken dishes, but if you ask them, have you tasted them, you will say, ask the cook. I am not. You will start from our own faculty canteen and ask him whether he has tasted the fried fish, which is being served to us from the days of Dr.Nandkumar and Nefertiti. I asked him once whether Egyptat 3000 वर्षांपूर्वी mummified नुसते काढून आमकां घालता काय म्हणून शिजो. कित्याक ते तशें फ्रिजांतल्यान काडिल्ले तशेंच आसतात मॉडिफायड फीश ते बेगीन तव्याचेर घालून ताका मातसो गरम करता तो आनी तो मसालो लावन तुज्या हाड्यार घालता जाय जाल्यार खा नाल्यार नेक्स्ट डे यू नो वॉट वील द इफेक्ट सो लेट अस कन्क्लूड दीस by thanking him, and I believe that the talk that you heard and you heard both the aspects, Cazulo Feni as well as coconut training, to the infographics and the presentation of various photographs also educated you about different aspects of the harvesting, processing, production. We have not talked about marketing and all, but I believe now what is the situation of the marketing of Cazulo Feni after JIT and all things? Most of the market is domestic or outside Goa. And what about NRIs? Means, are you selling anything to Portugal?
I can speak.
Yeah, sure.
I know it's probably our company, but the marketing part. See, as a geologist, I didn't know anything about marketing. I didn't go to MBA. But one thing I was passionate about was how do you actually take a heritage product that has steeped in culture and you take it and show it to someone else. That was my basic thing. So I wanted to feel good tastefully. So what I did was I appreciated Dr.Nandkumar's writing and I started writing because one of the biggest gaps was people did not understand Cazulo, did not know what Cazulo was. So I started writing for the Herald for the last 3 years, writing articles on different aspects of fermentation, distillation.
You have blog also, no? Following Cazulo's trail also.
Yes. So I did, and then I said, you know what, sometimes writing is a bit heavy. You might not want to read it. 500 words. I realized 400, 500 words was maximum what people like. I said, it was too much. So I said, let's work on pictures. So I took pictures like this. I started getting, I'm not a photographer, but I took photographs and I got my friends who are photographers started taking photographs. Because I wanted people to fall in love with the process first. So all the basic groundwork I started doing. And then in the meantime, I was also designing my bottle, my Cazulo bottle. And Cazulo, so then we said, okay, let's work with the name because it has to have a cultural connection. So we worked with Cazulo, which means firefly. We said it means firefly. It's a Konkani word. Everyone connects with it. And then we came out with sorry, I don't read those things. So we came out with a funny another picture like this. The whole process of coconut feni in a cartoon. So we have a toddy tapper, we put nice bottle showing like this. And a casty, he's bringing the toddy, his wife is fermenting it, he's distilling it, his wife is saying don't drink. Then this is supposed to be me mixing the feni, checking the blending, tasting, notes and everything. Finally goes to the bar, you shake it, and the people are enjoying it. So this is the basically.
This is by Alexis?
No. Sharmila, she does all the drawings for Times of India. So you see all the drawings in Times of India, she's the one who did it. And we did this small thing about Goa. I mean, just the casual, the drink, just a little thing about that. Then I also wanted to show what the coconut flower was. Most people, when I started getting into for carnivals and for festivals, I started working with a small stall. And I put this coconut flower. I'm telling you, 9 people out of 10 people thought this was plastic. They said, is it plastic? And I said, no, it's a flower. Flower? Coconut flower? It's like this? No, I thought it was a small piece like this. I said, no, it's a whole flower. This is a fluorescence. And they couldn't understand what coconut flower was because even living in Goa, they haven't seen a coconut flower. So that is a big gap we had. And this is a Lakshman Pai, a famous painter, had done a painting long time ago. So this is back then how they did it. And so one of the things I realized was we have to say where Goa was. On my bottle, I said Goa is the only place on this whole planet that distills feni, distills a casual into a spirit. And I said we have to showcase that. So when I drew the map, and I told my designer, I said, I asked 3 designers, 3 Indians, can you please help me design a brand of feni? And they all said no to me. I was a geologist working in New Zealand and said, what is this geology guy wants to do feni? 3 Indians said no to me. Finally, I came across this guy in New Zealand who said yes, and I was living in New Zealand then. So I went to him and I said, I told him what I wanted. He was so interested in the project, he said, let me do it. Because Feni is probably one of the last products in the world which hasn't seen commercial exploitation, like tequila, cachaça, pisco.